Welcome to Chanel the latest. Ukrainian drone successfully destroyed hundreds of elite Russian tank troops near Bakhmut. The incident occurred during the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia that has been raging for several years. Reports indicate that the Ukrainian drone was equipped with the latest weapons and technology that allowed it to easily destroy tanks and other military vehicles. The attack successfully destroyed at least 200 Russian tanks and killed hundreds of Russian troops. The international reaction to the incident has been varied, with some countries condemning Ukraine's actions as a violation of international law, while others express support for Ukraine in the conflict. The Ukrainian government has reaffirmed that they will continue to fight against Russian aggression and that they will defend their independence and territorial integrity. However, the situation in the conflict zone continues to deteriorate, and there are no signs that the conflict will end anytime soon. Meanwhile, the world continues to follow the developments in Ukraine and hopes that both sides will find a peaceful solution to end the conflict that has claimed many lives and devastated vast areas of Ukraine. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia began in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, a region that was previously a part of Ukraine. The annexation was followed by the emergence of pro-Russian separatist movements in the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk, leading to a conflict that has been ongoing since then. The Ukrainian government has accused Russia of supporting the separatist movements and supplying them with weapons, while Russia has denied involvement in the conflict and maintains that the separatist movements are driven by the local population's desire for autonomy. The conflict has resulted in the deaths of over 13,000 people and the displacement of millions. The war has also caused significant damage to the infrastructure and economy of Ukraine, especially in the conflict zone. Despite numerous attempts to resolve the conflict through diplomatic means, the situation has remained unresolved, and the conflict continues to escalate. The Ukrainian military has been actively modernizing its capabilities in recent years, with a focus on enhancing its defensive capabilities against the Russian military. The Ukrainian military has received significant support from the United States and other Western countries, including military aid, training, and intelligence support. The Ukrainian military's efforts have resulted in significant improvements in its capabilities, particularly in the areas of drone warfare, electronic warfare, and anti-tank capabilities. The successful drone attack near Bakhmut demonstrates the effectiveness of Ukraine's modernized military capabilities. Russia is one of the world's leading military powers and has a vast military arsenal, including advanced weapons systems, modernized tanks, and a significant number of troops. Russia has been accused of providing significant support to the separatist movements in eastern Ukraine, including weapons, training, and intelligence support. The Russian military has also been accused of direct involvement in the conflict, with reports of Russian troops operating in the conflict zone. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia has been characterized by the use of heavy weapons and artillery, resulting in significant damage to infrastructure and civilian casualties. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia has been a subject of international concern, with many countries expressing their support for Ukraine and condemning Russia's actions. The United States and other Western countries have provided significant support to Ukraine, including economic sanctions against Russia and military aid to the Ukrainian military. Russia has accused Western countries of interfering in the conflict and supporting Ukraine in its efforts to resist Russian aggression. The international community has called for a peaceful resolution to the conflict and for both sides to engage in diplomatic efforts to end the violence. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia has resulted in significant damage to the infrastructure and economy of Ukraine and has claimed many lives. The conflict's resolution remains uncertain, with both sides continuing to engage in violent exchanges. An elite Ukrainian drone unit is destroying weaponry of the invading Russian forces as their soldiers sleep, the Times of London reported Friday. Aerorozvidka, a specialist air reconnaissance unit within the Ukrainian army, says it has destroyed dozens of priority targets, including tanks, command trucks, and other vehicles in nighttime raids, the paper reported. Russian forces stop moving during the night and typically place their tanks among houses in villages where conventional artillery cannot strike them, Yaroslav Honchar, the unit commander based in Kyiv, told the paper. But the elite drone unit, which has dozens of squads of expert drone pilots, has these stationary vehicles in its crosshairs. "We strike at night, when Russians sleep," Honchar told the paper. An unnamed Ukrainian soldier told the Times it was impossible to see the unit's drones at night. "We look specifically for the most valuable truck in the convoy and then we hit it precisely, and we can do it really well with very low collateral damage," the soldier said. "Even in the villages, it's possible. You can get much closer at night." The unit's arsenal of drones ranges from cheap commercial ones to heavy-duty octocopters that have been modified to drop anti-tank grenades and to see with thermal cameras, according to the paper. The R-18 drone has a 4-kilometer range, about 2.5 miles, and its capacity to drop 11-pound bombs is particularly prized by Honchar's drone warriors, the paper said. The team also uses the PD-1, or Punisher drone, developed by Ukraine, that can carry about 6.5 pounds of explosives up to 30 miles away. Since Russia began its invasion, Ukrainian forces have had success in using drones such as the highly rated Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 to destroy the equipment of invading forces, Justin Bronk, a research fellow at the Royal United Services Institute, wrote in The Spectator. The success of the drones speaks more to the skill of its Ukrainian operators and the incompetence and operational failures of Russian forces, Bronk wrote. Aerorozvidka's drone unit, which flies up to 300 missions a day, according to the Times, operates using Elon Musk's Starlink satellite system, which was activated in Ukraine days after Russia invaded. This means drone teams can operate